Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Tuesday, November the 1st. And yes, it's November. Deb, can you believe that? I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach. And I am here with the number one rated female DFS player in the entire state of Arizona. It's the one and only, known as Deluxe, Miss Deb Lutz.
I was thinking about that yesterday. You know, you and Crash and Miller Time, you guys have great nicknames. Like, I think I might need a better nickname.
Well, Deluxe is pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's up there. We have to work on that though. That could happen.
Up my nickname game.
Yeah, we may have to do that.
We'll see if anyone in chat has any ideas.
Yeah, anybody have any ideas for Miss Deb here for the new nickname for Coach Talk? We're gonna have to start working on that. But exciting. So Tuesday, November 1st, we have a 4-game slate. So we have 8 teams going. 5 of them either on the first or second night of a back-to-back. So a lot of strategy there. We'll go through, obviously, the pay-ups, values, and fades, as we always do. We'll also talk about, some defensive efficiency. We'll look at pace of play, talk about what we're seeing thus far from some of these teams. So it's a little bit, when you have a little bit smaller slate like this, it allows you to dig a little bit deeper. So we'll look at that. We'll also do a 2 brains are better than one Fanduel GPP today. Deb and I always like to try to do that on Tuesdays. And then, we'll get on down the road with this. Yesterday, Deb, we were just talking about it before we came on air. It was a difficult late evening for the old coach here because I was really pissed. I mean, we had everything work perfectly. Those that were in on the podcast with us or heard it yesterday and are back here today. We, everything we talked about, I said Kevin Durant was going to be the highest score on the slate and, over Giannis and all these guys. He was phenomenal. James Harden stepped up just like we thought, even though that was the lowest point total game. Everything aligned, and we had these 2 Clippers just waiting to play. And I can't even make up the guts to say their names. I'm so mad. So basically going into that last game, Deb, if those 2 guys just roll out there and just play okay, and Paul George doesn't go ape shit, then we are taking down a bunch of stuff. And needless to say, that's why I'm whining.
Man. Yeah. And not only that, but the both of them, it would have been,
I
mean, they're arguably, 2 and 3 offensively, on the
Kawhi
Clippers.
Out, for sure.
Yeah. And both of them. It was just such garbage. Oh, and I had said Powell was dead to me the game before. And man, I can't go to him now at all. Oh.
Yeah, it was not fun, but we still had some good lineups. And I'm hoping, those that really built lineups from listening to the podcast should have been Yahtzee because, we had some really good stuff that we kicked out here in the podcast. But we're going to do it today.
Absolutely.
This is Takedown Tuesday at Coach Talk, and we're going after it. We're also supplying MLB World Series Game 3 lineups a little bit later. Crash and I will be posting those. And then, of course, Deb and I will have the core builds for Draftkings and full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo. So let's say hello to the folks in chat. Mr. Jim Parrish, let's win all the money, Coach. Yes, we are going to win all the money today. I'm saying it right now. Jim is the first one in chat today. Appreciate you jumping in there, sir. Nathan Feudy, Aloysius 5, Rodney Pollard, Rose is in there. Aaron Sampson, Trumpus, Darius Rucker is going to be spinning some Hootie and the Blowfish for us here. President Abe Lincoln, I must salute when I announce him. The boy from Cali, he's not from any other state. He's from Cali. And he's with us. JT, also known as Justin Timberlake, in the house. Of course, Mr. Travis Wyndham, king of all trades. And speaking of that, NFL's been a little spicy here today with some of that news going on. We'll have catch up on that later. Stacks money 77. No Luca tonight, but that's no problem. We're still going to make the money. Paint Blank SM, how are you, sir? Also known as Dead Presidents. Lanuka A saying hello to Deb, not hello to Coach. So Deb, oh wait, let's go, Coach. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Both get the love.
CMO 614. What is going on? Let's see. D Boogie. That could be. There's the first.
I know, right? The nickname.
D Boogie sounds pretty darn good. That is awesome.
Me and Boogie cousins.
Let's see. Yes, hit the like button, Lanuka says. And yes, please do that on the way in. That would be great. Paul George looks good. Yeah, no kidding, Lanuka. He wasn't looking right to me. And Simo, he looked great. He was terrific. So
great.
Yes, we all can be wrong at times. I was dead ass wrong about Paul George yesterday. He's phenomenal and he played great. And whatever was ailing him wasn't ailing him yesterday. That's for sure. Sarugi W, how are you, sir? Great to have you with us. And made a huge mistake not playing hard. No, Sarugi. Oh. You got to believe, got to have the faith. Yeah, but I also said to fade Paul George. So, you get some good, you get some bad. What's that song? What wasn't that a theme song? You get some good, you get some bad. Facts of Life.
Facts of Life. Wow.
All right, we got to get started here, but I have to say hello to my favorite person, and that's Miss Katie. Hi, Miss Katie. All right, here we go. We're going after this. We've got only 4 games, and we're going to slice and dice this up, and we're looking for takedowns, and that's what we're looking for today. Nothing in between. No baby wins. We want the biggies. 7:30, so we have extra 30 minutes today. So we had 2 7:30 games, an 8 o'clock game, and then we have to sit around for 2 hours, Deb. And we have to wait for the Timberwolves and Suns at 10. So it's going to be a long night of basketball, but we'll be able to focus on games instead of when there's multiple games and I flip around like a maniac. Sometimes I forget which team I'm watching. It gets so nuts. But interesting on the totals today, Deb, we've got a 225.5, a 232, the stinker game, 216.5 is all, and then a decent 227 to finish up. The sweet part about it is all 4 lines are very small. 4, 3, 2, and 1. How's that for synergy on the lines today?
Yeah, competitive games.
No blowout issues to consider. And looking at them, I don't think we'll have any blowouts either. So that's a big plus. So what do you say we dive into the first one? We'll talk a little bit of definitely talk a little bit of ownership as well. Harry Styles also is in there, our winner from yesterday.
Harry Styles.
Kyrie and the Raptors cash for me. Yes, they did, but KD did score more than Kyrie. So, just saying, but they were both awesome. We should have played them both. But well done, sir. Well done. Okay. Game 1, Deb. Here we go. No messing around. Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat. There you go. Could be maybe a finals possibility matchup. You never know. You've got a 225 total. Miami's a 1-point favorite at home. 112.25 implied for Golden State. 113.25 for the Heat. And this game, we have DiVincenzo and Iguodala remain out for Golden State. Oladipo and Yurtseven remain out for the Heat. Interesting game here. 3 and 4 Warriors and 2 and 5 Heat. Not really expected to say those records. Those 2 teams aren't happy about that. So we'll see how that flows. Do you want to look at, why don't we look at ownership now and just knock that out of here? Let's see. Thanks. You're welcome, Mr. Styles. Cash, keep the super chats coming. Yes, do that, please. We have to pick a new I haven't seen David the last few days. Where is David?
We
I
lost?
gotta DM him. I'm worried about Mr. David. He has some health issues, and he's never gone for a couple of days in a row. So I will DM him and see if I can find him. Mr. Styles there, Yami Styles, thank you for the super chat. The old $1.99 right in the till here. The last 2 months, any super chats go directly to charity, and those went to Operation Hope, which was David's choice for the charity. And now we're going to start a new charity this month. And to be honest with you, I have not chosen that yet. So if anybody has a charity of choice amongst our members, please throw it up there and we will consider it. And then anything that goes into the super chat bucket for the entire month of November will be donated in Coach Talk's name, and whoever brings it up and nominates that charity would be great. So let us know if you have any ideas there. We would appreciate that. Debbie Deb and Coachy Coach we're known as right now. So there we go. That works, I guess. Joe K's also with us. Excellent. Great to have you. No Kid Hungry is a great charity. Yes, it is. I know that charity. That's certainly in the running. I love it. Thank you very much for that suggestion. And since you did the very first nominee or money in the bucket, I think we just go for it. I know that charity, so I don't have to search for it. So there we go. No Kid Hungry will be the Coach Talk charity of the month for November. So anything you super chat will go towards that. All right, Deb. Let's dive into ownership here and talk about this.
Do it.
Because there was some bizarre ownership, and I'm interested to see as we get closer to lock if this shifts. Because I was a little perplexed at some of it, and I'm interested to get your take and see what we've got here. All right. Ownership Draft Draftkings. Jalen Williams, the rookie from Oklahoma City, is number 1 at 29.2% in the lowest total game on the slate. Did that surprise you right out of the chute?
It didn't, because before I looked at ownership, I pegged him because I was looking for an inexpensive guy. And, he's just coming back. He had a great preseason, played well yesterday. And I think playing against a team in Orlando where I think he could throw up some numbers. So it didn't totally surprise me. And he's in my consideration because there's not a lot of guys in that range where you feel like they're going to get 25, minutes. So.
Well, we're thinking alike again, because I was distraught. I thought I had this nice little value play that wasn't going to have a lot of ownership, and the dang guy was number 1. I had him penciled in before I saw anything.
Crazy.
Jeez, I couldn't believe it. All right, then you have Royce O'Neal, only 4,800. He's at 28%.
That surprised me. Surprised me.
I'm not crazy about that one, but the price on Vuk on DraftKings is $7,800.
Yeah.
What is that price?
I know. I was shocked by that.
I mean, his ownership's gonna go up.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay away. I think I think it's a pretty high scoring game, but I like DeRozan and Levine better.
$7,800 though is dirt cheap for him.
I know.
26.5%. I mean, I may be evildoer eating the chalk, as boy from Cali says here. I just never expected a sub 8K Vuk. In a game that should have a lot of points. So that's a hard one. SGA, I knew he'd be highly owned. He's been playing like a $10,000 player, and he's 9,400. He's coming in a little over 25%.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Styles there, Kyrie Irving, is getting just a smidgen more respect than KD, but they're back-to-back, Deb. Kyrie at 25% at 9,700, and KD 24% at 9,700. So, or I'm sorry, 10-2. 9,700 and 10-2. So you really can't afford both guys, but they're neck and neck. Which guy do you like better between those two?
I like Durant. I like Durant tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's he beats up Chicago pretty badly when he
Yeah.
plays them. So he's had a good run against them. DeRozan's not going to slow him down. I mean, maybe you put Patrick Williams on him, but I think he's money again tonight. He's riding high.
The thing
And
with
new coach. Nash got fired. So
yes.
they had an interim coach, and what's the rule of thumb, right? Whenever you have a coach change up, that team usually plays well. So
right. Well, those guys didn't like Nash. Definitely not. Durant and Irving, those guys, they didn't like him. So that was just a bad fit, a rough situation, impossible. So it looks like they're bringing in the Boston coach.
Yeah. All you have to do now is add Primo to that team, and you've got yourself, or maybe Miles Bridges, and you got. I mean, come on.
The thing that baffles me is Brooklyn's been a nightmare of just drama, and now you're bringing in a coach that just got let go for harassing. I mean, what are they thinking? I mean, granted, he may be a hell of a coach, but do you really want all that controversy and drama in the middle of, you never know what Kyrie's going to do.
Like they can't do any better than that. I mean, come on.
I was shocked when I saw that. I couldn't believe it. Poku's next, believe it or not, 24% on Poku.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Yeah, there's been some really lousy chalk that seem people think they're getting value. I don't get that. Your namesake there, I don't see the jersey lately, so I don't know. Maybe Devin Booker is going to be a little upset about this, but he's 22% owned at 9,000. Zach LaVine, 7,500 at 21%. Wendell Carter Jr., 20%. Kyle Lowry at 20%. Paul.
That shocked me. Kyle Lowry at 20% at over 6K.
He's not playing that great.
No, playing like doo-doo.
I don't get it. Chris Paul, 7,700 is pretty cheap for Chris Paul. 19%. Nicholas Claxton always gets a lot of ownership. He's only 5,800. Bum Adebayo, that's with a U, 7,400, 19%. Here's the guy I like, of course, Paolo Banchero. 7,900 though is a lot to bite off, but he's so tough, man. 1,900 or 19%. And then it goes Dort is next at 17. So that's sort of how it lays out on DraftKings. I'm not going to go through it as in depth with Fanduel and Yahoo, but I'm going to give you a read. As Fanduel, the highest owned player is Chris Paul. Then it goes Kyrie Irving, Wendell Carter Jr., Royce O'Neal, the darling of DFS today for some reason, KD, Cameron Johnson, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Devin Booker, Poku, and Levine. So some similarities, a few differences. Yahoo's always off. Nicholas Claxton seems to be rated number one on Yahoo every day. And I don't know if it's because he's only $17. That's possible. Then it goes Kyrie, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. So the backcourt of Phoenix, 3-4 owned on Yahoo. Vuk at $31, which again, it magnifies the value on DraftKings for Vuk. Levine, very popular today. Cameron Johnson's only $14, Deb. We're still waiting for that massive breakout.
I know. It's got a good, I could see tonight being a possibility against Minnesota.
I hope so. That's a hard price to pass, $14. Tyler Hero, and then Bum Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, Franz Wagner keeps making the list. He's not played great ball either, but he's 23.6 Yahoo projected. Paolo Banchero, 33, Royce O'Neal, Wendell Carter, KD, 21%. My buddy Max Strus at least made a list, $13. I like old Max Strus. He can knock it down. So that gives you a good feel for everything there as far as ownership. So when we start breaking this down, we get a good feel for where we can get some leverage and what's going to be the strong plays.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. My dad has a charity for canines for companion. Oh my God, I'm a huge dog lover. So canines for companions definitely going to be in the bucket here. I love that. They train service dogs for disabled people and companions for disabled veterans. Oh my goodness. How can we not do that one? That one's definitely going to be. All right, so we have our next two charities, Deb.
Nice. You got it all lined
So
up.
for December, it's going to be canines for companions. So we've
Nice.
got our next two awesome charities. So thank you
That's
so much for
awesome.
bringing that
That's
up.
awesome.
I know that the game went to overtime with Jalen Williams the last time out, and he got 27 minutes. But you know what? He's good. He's a good rookie. He's not just a rookie that's getting an opportunity in minutes. He's got game, and I think that you got to consider him here. And I think he's going to get mid-20s minutes regardless, overtime or not. The question is that enough? I mean, on a 4-game slate, you can get away with that more than you can, 14-game slate. So
Right. Good point.
for sure. Let's see. Jay Blazing, great to see you in here, my friend. And Mark Fouth. I never know which way to say that. Fouth or Fouth. You corrected me once before, Mark, but I know it's one of the two ways, so we're safe on one of those. Yes, very cool. I agree. Okay, and we are going to give a ticket away for tonight. Definitely want to do that. Earl Tyson, right at the buzzer, Earl. We really haven't talked about anything yet. So you're right on time, my friend. David.
There's David.
Hey. I was really worried, David. I was going to DM you, man. We missed you yesterday and today. Yes, Mr. Earl Tyson, we're doing a 2 brains are better than one Fanduel because we fear getting punched in the nose by Mr. Earl Mike Tyson. So we're going to do a Fanduel GPP build for you. Okay, we got ownership out of the way. All hellos. We've answered some questions. Yeah. Oh, boy from Cali agrees with me on Williams getting plus 25 minutes. So that's a good thing. All right, Deb, we've got this game, and we read out the numbers. We know who's in and out. We know the ownership. It's a dead even game. What is your take on game number 1? I will tell you, Golden State's on the second night of a back-to-back. Miami's on the first night of a back-to-back.
Yep.
Kerr and my man Spoelstra are very cognizant of not burning out their guys. So they're not quite poppish, but they're pretty close. So that gives me a little trepidation here going in. So let me see what you got.
Yeah, I'm sort of lukewarm on this game from a DFS perspective. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. Both these teams need a win. They both have, good defenses, veteran teams. I like a couple of guys from this game, though. Believe it or not, I know you're going to be like, what? But I like the bum tonight. I have
like Bum Adebayo? Okay.
Yeah, I have not played him yet this year.
Okay.
I've been watching, and he does play well against this team and the centers of Looney and Weissman.
Yeah.
And he's, at 7,400, I think the toss-up has been, do I go with him or do I go with Vooch? But like I said, I like a couple of the other guys better on in the Nets game. So I like Adebayo on the Miami side. I don't like Butler tonight. I think, Butler, I mean, he may pull it out for tonight because it is Golden State. But, Butler at the beginning of the year is so different from Butler towards the end of the yeyear, when he knows he needs to play. And I just, he's expensive, and I don't quite see him hitting. I'm Hero's too up and down. I'm not interested in him, and I'm definitely not interested in Lowry at that salary. So really, it's going to be Adebayo for me on the Miami side. And on Golden State, I was looking at Curry, but I opted to go with Durant instead as my pay up. And so I'm not on Curry, but I am on Poole. I think Poole's going to have a nice game tonight. He's back to being leading the second team, and he should be taking that over against Miami's bench.
Yep. So lukewarm on this game for sure, no doubt. Yep. I'm lukewarm on this game as well. I just, I respect these two teams' coaches. I respect their defensive prowess. We can take a quick gander here. Let's look. First of all, this is another consideration, and it's worth mentioning. Golden State's playing at the fastest pace in basketball right now. They've surpassed the Lakers. So that's, that says something right there. Golden State, number 1 overall, definitely creates an issue here that you got to consider. And Miami, who's usually in the lower third of the league, is 12th. So that
surprises me.
Isn't that surprising?
Yeah.
I mean, I was down on this game, just like I say, even less than lukewarm. And then I warmed up slightly just looking at those numbers. And then, you combat that with the fact, this is even more shocking. They're 20th and 21st in defensive efficiency. I mean, those two teams are always in the top 5.
That's crazy.
They're 20th and 21st. So I'm going to have some ownership here. I think just for those reasons, I don't like the back-to-back scenarios with both teams. I talked all about that. So I am so torn on this game, and the stats don't lie, but the situation affects it. Definitely a bit unsettling for me. As far as who I'm looking at, I see a bunch of people mentioning Klay Thompson in here because he's so dirt cheap now. And I understand what everybody's saying with Klay. And I ended up biting the bullet and trying to play him the other day, and it didn't work out. I think, and I know everybody's saying this, anyway, but the injuries are catching up with him. It's a little bit in his head. Miami's such a good defensive team. I know Klay's giveaway at 5.5, like he's the price of Royce O'Neal's and all those guys.
Crazy.
But I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it.
I agree. He's not even getting the peripherals, really.
He's not getting anything, and he's not shooting well. And, he's pretty much scoring dependent anyway. And if you're not scoring, then you're sort of sunk. But, Draymond's going to get some attention because he's cheap at 5.7. But I don't know. If I go anywhere here, I'm going to go big, Deb. I'm probably going to go Curry. And I know it's a little,
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. He's going to have a good game. And, Curry never quite gets the respect of the other bigs. He's rarely over 10-2. Here he's even under 10.
Yeah, 9-6.
And like I said, I really looked long and hard at him. But yeah, I like it. I think Poole's fair too. And Poole's ownership is pretty low, 7.7% ownership. So I like that as well. But I can't trust the peripheral guys either. The bench guys either. I mean, Kuminga's inconsistent, Moody's inconsistent. So
Wiseman, you can't really trust any of the bench guys. They're way too inconsistent. But I mean, if I went Curry, I think Wiggins at 6'9" is a better play to me than Jordan Poole at 6'6", just because I feel like the minutes are more secure, and and Wiggins will get some peripheral stats. So really, Curry and Wiggins are the guys I'm looking at on the Golden State side.
Okay.
For Miami, I am tempted to go with Bam. I know I've been calling him bum because he's been so disappointing a lot of games, but I just don't think he's worth the salary right now. I mean, I think he should be lower than that. Mid-7s to me is too high for a guy that's really, he's thrown some horrific games on the board this year.
Yeah.
Like in the teens fantasy points. So just not ecstatic there. I think a value play that you can think about it, as crazy as it is Caleb Martin. He's sub 5K, last guy in, sneaky. He'll get steals. He'll even get a block here and there. I think you can look at him a little bit. Don't like Kyle Lowry. I'm with you. I don't know why he's getting the ownership he's getting. He's not playing well. He looks as though he's slowed down. But I do like the pricing on their 2 best scorers right now. Not going to go with both, but I'll probably go with one or the other. I have not decided. Tyler here is only 7.2, and Jimmy Butler's 8.4. I'm definitely interested in one of those 2 guys. I know Jimmy Butler has been very inconsistent as well, but these 2 teams have a tendency to bring out the best in each other. They're, like you said, veterans, savvy, strong players. So I'm going to have exposure here where early in the day I wasn't going to. But again, you got to look at the analytics and numbers. The ownership on most of these guys is low, and I think you can get some really quality players in a good matchup that are going to be lower owned in guys like Curry, Wiggins, Hero, and Butler.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Let's go to game 2. We have the Chicago Bulls at the Brooklyn Nets. Now, we do want to talk about this game because it's obviously going to be probably the most pivotal game on the slate. Brooklyn's favored by 2. It's a big 232 number. We know once we get over that 230 mark the last couple of seasons, we always make note of it because, those you got to pay attention. I know what's the difference between 229 and 231. I'm just saying from just doing this every day and talking it through, it seems like when we point out these 230 plus games, they always get a couple guys that almost break the slate. So you got to pay attention to them. And then you combine the fact that the Bulls are a 115 implied and the Brooklyn is 117. That's really conducive to some success from a DFS standpoint because every possession is probably going to count.
Yep.
You've got Levine, who's more than likely, he's already been ruled in from what I understand.
Yeah.
The guys we don't know about, and please correct me in chat if anybody knows, but Dosunmu and White, questionable, and Ball and Drummond out. So Dosunmu and White matter because that really decimates the guard depth for the Bulls. So we're going to have to, I'd like to get the news there. No change for Brooklyn. Curry, Simmons, and Warren are out there. Bulls 3 and 4, Nets 2 and 5. So you have 2 more shocking teams. All the bad teams have winning records. All the good teams have losing
exactly.
records. What is going on?
It's upside down. It's topsy-turvy. I mean, top of the standings, you got Utah, you got the Spurs. It's crazy.
If I told you Golden State, Miami, Chicago, and Brooklyn have worse records than San Antonio and Utah,
Crazy.
I mean, good Lord. So really interesting game here. We talked a little bit about the ownership. We know Durant, Irving are grabbing some of that. It's pretty sporadic everywhere else here. I'll let you break this game down, but let me give you the pace of play here. First of all, too, let's see. Chicago's second night of a back-to-back, Deb. Mm-hmm. So is that going to have an effect here is the question. And, Chicago, on the other hand, Brooklyn is also on the second night of a back-to-back.
Right.
And a coaching change. So, the big thing with coaching change is usually, when it's the assistant that comes in, he will tweak a few things. So my warning is, of course, you don't have to worry about Durant and Irving, but is he going to tweak around with anybody else? Is there somebody that's going to get less or more minutes on all those tweener guys from Harris and O'Neal on down? That's something you got to think about because
great question.
They'll usually play pretty much as is, but they'll want to put their own thumbprint on there, especially if they're only going to get to do this for a couple of games before they bring in, the other coach. So just something to further muddy the waters there a little bit.
Yeah, it's a great question. We should watch out for what the starting lineup is for sure.
Absolutely. And I would be, if you're between 2 fringe guys that you're trying to get a value guy on, and it's between one of these Brooklyn guys and somebody else, I would go the other direction. Unless you think, you have some inside info that, somebody's going to get more minutes than they've been getting. Yeah. And if I'll be scouring the beat writers, we have that extra 30 minutes and I'm going to use it. And I'd love to hear some coach speak and hopefully get a little inside information on this, because if there's any possibility of, grabbing a value guy that's going to get some extra time, that would be fantastic. Yeah. DePrince, hello. Rico Harris, hello. Great to have you both with us. Really do appreciate that. Nathan, we'll look at that lineup here in a minute for sure. We'll definitely give you some information there. Harris looked good last night. Yeah, he absolutely did. I was going to go over pace. So let's talk about pace here. Brooklyn, is 25th in pace. I think you're going to see that shift upwards now that Nash is gone. And then Chicago is 6th. Nobody really saw that coming. So that is sort of interesting. From the defensive standpoint, Brooklyn's 30th, Deb. I don't think they really want to play for Nash.
Wow.
Yeah, dead last. So, yeah, he had to go. That was just a complete disaster there. Not good. Chicago also, with a losing record. Defensively, though, they're coming in the middle of the pack at 14. So give us the breakout here. What do you have?
Yeah, so I like this game, obviously, as I think most people will. And I like some of the big names here also. On the Chicago side, I'm thinking of playing both DeRozan and Levine in my lineup. I think I've got the money for both. And I think that, they don't always do well together. I mean, it's another one of those situations like a Tatum and Jaylen Brown situation, but I think given the Nets defense, I think they do both play well here tonight. And like I said earlier, I'm less interested in going after Vuk tonight, so I'm going to play a little contrarian there and go after the other two big guys. Waiting to hear the Sumo information, because if he's out, I'm definitely firing up Caruso.
Okay.
And if DeSumo is in, I'll still consider Caruso, because I still think that they're a little thin in the backcourt there, and Caruso can bring some nice defensive stats, and I think he's fairly priced. I think he's like at 4,800 or something like that. So
he's affordable on all three.
Yeah. So those are the guys that I'm eyeing on Chicago. On the Brooklyn side, I still can't bring myself to play Kyrie ever. So,
he played good last night, man.
I
He
know.
played well last night.
I just, it's hard to think objectively. But I do. I am going to run it back with Durant. He was great for me last night, and I think he has another good night. Am I worried a little bit about the back-to-back on those old legs? I don't know. How many minutes did he play last night?
Durant's not a human being. He's an alien.
Exactly, right?
He could play 5 games in one day. I mean, that dude
he doesn't break a sweat.
Well, he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him either.
It's true.
Just floats around the court.
So, so I like Durant a lot. I have some love for Claxton.
Okay.
And I can't, Joe Harris is so cheap right now. And I think, as long as he's in, obviously he needed his legs back. He played 29 minutes last night, but as long as he's starting, I will, I'll look at him as well.
Yeah. I always liked Joe Harris. I just haven't seen enough quite yet. And I don't know how much they push him on a back-to-back, being that he was out for so long, but for $4,000, my goodness.
He's so cheap, right?
It is crazy.
Again,
Yeah, I want the news here. If Dasun moves out, Caruso's 100% lock and load, my best value play of the day. When they go to Caruso and they're shorthanded, especially now, Kobe White's questionable on top of that. So if those guys are out, Caruso's going to play like 38 minutes. He really will.
Yeah.
They will run him, and he always produces. He gets the peripheral numbers. I really like him. He's my favorite play on that side. If Dasunmu plays, then I've got to rethink it, because he's not like giveaway money, but he's still very cheap. But I'm really hoping Dasunmu sits. Think it's leaning that way. And Caruso's my favorite play on that side, if that's the case. I am going to go Vuk. I know you're not on him. I just think it's too cheap. And, he can knock threes down. Claxton's not very good at going out and defending the three ball. And Vuk can score it and, still get some rebounds and do some things out there. Now, I do like Claxton also on the other side with you, because we know Vuk's not a good defender. My gut feeling, and again, this is not any coach speak. This is not anything with beat writers or anything. I just one of the guys I think is going to do better with Nash gone is Claxton. I think, again, this is just me watching the game and trying to anticipate before it happens. But I think the pace will increase a bit for Brooklyn. Claxton gets out, fills lanes, tip dunks, alley-oops. He's just one of those kind of athletic bigs that needs pace. When you stand in a half court and just dribble with Kyrie and Durant, Claxton gets wasted. And more open court, I think Claxton's a great play today.
Cool.
Other than that, I want to go back to KD, and I'm probably going to go back to KD. And I hate to be, belly flopping on here, but we're still 2 hours out, and I've got to see a few pieces of news. But, KD was awesome last night. He got it done like I thought he would. And, I think he can again tonight. And again, I never worry about him. If you look at statistically through this long career, back-to-backs have never affected him. In fact, he usually does better. And because the rest of the team, I think, is tired from the back-to-back, and nothing phases him. So I think he's a great play. I like him better than Kyrie once again. But when you talk over 10K, you got to think. So the bottom line is this. If I do go with Steph Curry in that first game, then the question is, can I go KD as well?
Right,
because then you're talking about having to go with some serious value. I have it if I can go Caruso, maybe a Caleb Martin, something like that. I can make it work. So that's where I'm leaning initially, but I want exposure here. This could be really 2v2 for me here. I'd be most happy if it would be Caruso, Vuk, Durant, and Claxton. You ready for game 3?
Let's do it.
All right, let me see. We will get to I did see one person in there regarding what they've got. Yeah, Bol again, definitely Mr. Tyson. We're going to talk about him. Yeah, Watanabe being so highly owned, mind-bending to me. I think it's fake chalk.
No,
personally.
that's a bait right there.
It is. I mean, I know he's been playing more minutes, Simmons out, all that stuff. I get it, but I mean, he's okay. But what is the ceiling with him? I mean, you got to get a ceiling game to even have it be okay. That's the thing. I absolutely anticipate that Bol will start. He's been starting and he's been playing fantastic. I think he will, and we'll see what happens there. Gizmo Perk, how are you, my friend? Good afternoon to you as well. Let's see. All right, let's go to game 3, Deb.
All right.
We've got a 8 o'clock affair here with the low game of the night. Orlando Magic and Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City, a home favorite. They have played decent. Got to give them credit. They're -3, and it's only a 216.5 total. You have 2 sub 110 implied totals, though. That's a red flag to me. 106.75 implied for Orlando, 109.75 for your Oklahoma City Thunder. Magic come in 1-6. Thunder 500 at 3-3. Orlando's still banged up. Suggs is the news that we need, unless somebody has it. I have him as questionable. We already know that Anthony, Fultz, Harris, Isaac, and Mo Wagner out for Orlando. Josh Giddey remains out for the Thunder. Everybody else should be a go.
So, Coach, they removed the questionable tag for
Suggs.
Suggs.
Is playing.
He's playing.
Okay,
and,
so
yep.
Looks like it'll be Suggs, Ross, Franz Wagner, Banchero, and Carter for Orlando. SGA, Mann, Wiggins, Dort, Poku is probably starting for the Thunder.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get the rookie in there, Williams, as well.
So you get Bol will likely be off the bench then with Suggs now playing.
I don't know what's going to happen here. Now let's look back at that, because I don't know why they'd want to bring him off the bench the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
That's my question, but there's no way they're going to play him over. Yeah, I guess he will come off the bench. So I correct myself for my earlier statement. That makes it tough. How do you go to Bol Bol off the bench? His minutes are not guaranteed.
Right.
You still have Chuma Okeke they're trying to get minutes to. RJ Hampton had a great game the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mo Bamba, as much as I think he's a waste of time out there. I mean, gosh, I hate to get off of Bol Bol. He's done so well, but I'm off him. With that Suggs news, I'm off him. I thought Suggs wasn't going to play and Bol Bol was going to start. So I'm pretty disappointed in that one, but it is what it is. Giddey upgraded to questionable? What? All right.
Wow. Most likely to play. Uh-huh.
Well, so much for the rookie there,
I've
Williams.
got Giddey is out. Wow. Okay.
I don't know if he'll play.
Yeah.
Although when you get a game day upgrade, that gets your attention.
Yep. Well, that's interesting.
Well, we need that
All right,
news.
keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating right there. So Oklahoma City is playing fast. Or no, are they not playing fast? Are they? Yes, they are playing fifth fastest team pace-wise in the NBA, which is shocking. They haven't been playing fast in the past. Maybe this is the new strategy. Maybe that's why they're winning a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got to like that. And then on the other side of the ball, the poor old Orlando Magic are at number 11 from a pace standpoint. So even though you got a low total here, that's pretty impressive. How about Oklahoma City and defensive efficiency? Would you believe that where do you think they are? I'll let you guess.
I think they're top 10.
I tricked you. They're 20.
You did.
They're 26th. I tried to pull a fast.
You did.
I was just trying to pull a fast one on you. I wanted to see if I could influence.
You got me. You did.
So they still stink on defense.
Really?
Yeah, they're just too young. They're one of those, young teams never play good defense.
No, of course. But I'm surprised then. What's the total for Orlando?
Orlando defensively is
what's total points on the line?
By the way, Orlando's 16th in defense.
Okay.
As far as it's 216.5, 109.75 for Oklahoma City, 106.75 for Orlando.
Okay.
So, this game isn't as much of a dog game as, the 216.5 would tell you. SGA's been beyond unbelievable. Now Suggs is in. Who knows if Giddey's going to play? That really screws things up. I hope he doesn't. So all I know is I started the day with one guy from this game in my lineup, and now I'm starting to think we're going to have to reconsider some things. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I certainly have to go back. I did have Bol in my lineup, so I want to take a look at that. Shea is a great play, but I'm struggling between, looking at Shea's ownership. Let's see, where are we at on ownership?
Yeah, and he's 9.4. So, you got to choose basically, in my opinion, between SGA and Curry. They're the same price.
The challenge for me is going to be, if Giddey plays, I'm not on Shea. Because I think he takes up some of Shea's, peripherals. I've got to wait and see. But if Shea's playing on an island, now is OKC one of the teams going on a back-to-back tomorrow?
OKC's, this is their second night of a back-to-back tonight. Okay.
So they play.
So that's, but they're like 19 years old, for God's sake.
I know.
It is, but they do baby SGA.
They do.
I'm not playing SGA strictly because of that. They baby him. It's the second night of a back-to-back. He's pretty high owned and he's high priced. And I've seen people get burned by that too many times. I know he's been throwing 60 burgers up left and right.
Right.
And this team, Orlando, stinks. So, the potential's there. But, I just don't see that.
His ownership's real high. He's not in my lineup right now. I tend to, in this game, I like Dort. They're going to need his defense in this game, and he's been playing pretty well. He's at 5,600. Nothing great out of him, but he's been playing solidly. You know what? I mean, as much as I like Banchero, if he's getting Dort defense, I'm probably going to stay away as his price has been creeping up. But I like Carter. I like Wendell Carter in this game. I mean, we know how poorly OKC plays against centers. So I think Carter could have a big night.
I like Banchero, and I have to tell you, like I told Crash, not because I don't mispronounce half the names, but it's not Banchero, it's Banchero.
Ooh, like Doncic.
The dude's a star. I mean, I know you call him Doncic and all that, and Giannis, and you beat up our favorite players, but Banchero happens to be one of my favorite players now. So I love him. I don't care what his price is.
He's on my fantasy team. He's on my fantasy season long. He's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Great pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I like him. I like the fact that his price isn't cheap, because that always keeps people off of him. And I love that. So, you know, he's my favorite play. He's the guy I've had plugged in all day, and I'll probably stick with him. You know, I think that is a good question. I would love to know, Mr. Styles there, or who posted that? The Giddy. Yes, Mr. Styles. If you can double check that, let us know where you saw it, because I just checked 2 other spots and I do not see that status change. So I would love to know the word on Giddy. If you do see that upgrade, let us know where you saw it so we could try to confirm it, because it changes a lot of things in this game for sure. So yes, thank you, boy from Cali. We do have a lot of viewers in here, and we love you guys. We appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. You know, we haven't mentioned it. If you're on YouTube, the thumbs up makes a big difference for us. In front of the paywall here, we need those thumbs ups to get us some more viewers out there, get up in the algorithm on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the like and retweet. We'd really appreciate that. Absolute Power, how are you? I didn't think I said hello to you the other day or earlier today. Oh, Underdog has it. Okay. I totally respect Underdog.
Okay.
So that really shakes up the bucket here.
Totally.
Thank you, CMO. Thank you. Great. See, that's the kind of information on these podcasts that we need. So what it does for me, Deb, is it takes this Oklahoma City team and I'm not playing any Thunder. I don't want this nightmare of the situation and the usage split. And I already had decided I'm fading SGA. So I'm not stretching it. I'm not going anywhere else there. I think a lot of people are going to go, as we see with Poku and these cheaper guys. You got to have rocks in your head to play those guys. If Giddy gets any minutes with SGA in there, with the rookie in there, there's just the ceilings are so low, and you also have a low floor. So
no Jalen Williams anymore?
No, he's out for me.
Okay.
I mean, he's playing, but there's just no way, you know, and his ownership will plummet too with all of this news coming out.
Probably.
Yeah. I just don't, again, you know, you're talking about 25 minutes that now could end up being 18.
20,
then,
right.
You know, what good does that do? How are you, Bev? Great to see you. RJ, thank you for being at the party. Late or not late, it doesn't matter. We love having you. Yes, give us a like here for Deb, not for me, for Deb. Deb wants a thumbs up, a like, all that fun stuff.
Do it.
We need to do it. Do it.
How many likes do we have here? Let's see.
I mean, it just shifts things in this
game.
It
does. It really does.
It really does. So are you still, I mean, somebody in here said it's a sneaky stack. Yeah, it's a risky stack, maybe on a GPP. I don't see how in cash or single entry you can feel good about stacking this game now under these circumstances.
Yeah, with the new news,
Yeah. All right, you ready to move to the last game?
What do we got? How many thumbs up do we have? Let's see. All right, 39 thumbs up.
So almost half. That's not quite going to cut. We should be at 50 with almost 80 people in here. 50 likes is, I mean, it's free. It's free.
Let's hit the 50.
I think the situation is this. We can't give away a ticket to tonight if we don't have at least 50% likes. That means people don't even want a ticket. And they don't.
Here we go. 42. Let's get to 50. We could do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get there. All right. We are going to the final game on the slate with this little 4-gamer. And it's going to be 2 hours later. So lots of late night sweat going on here.
And hopefully I'm going to be there.
It better not be the late night nausea like last night.
This is going to be a good game, and I'm going to be there.
I feel really good. So I'm going to come clean right here. In Coach Chat, which is private, not with our members, I may have thrown out an F-bomb last night. I'm just saying.
I think you did.
Oh,
as well as promising to play DFS again or something like that.
I think I did one of those. I'm taking the rest of the week
the week off. Exactly.
That's what I believe.
Like,
what? Yeah. We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we're getting it back tonight. So what I was saying was I'm going to be at the game tonight. So I'm going to bring
you're going to the Suns game tonight?
Going to the game. Yep.
Holy crap. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yes, I know, David. Don't tell her. That's bad. That's bad news. I mistyped is what I did.
That's right.
That is great. I'm so glad you're going to have to give us some updates there. Let us know what's going on when you're there.
Take a look at the pregame warm-ups and see who's looking good.
Yep. It says here, Josh Giddey, right ankle sprain has been upgraded to questionable. We'll hear from Mark Dagnalt in 45 minutes, 10 minutes ago. So in about a half an hour, we'll get updated news on Giddey. Thank you, Doug L. That really does, that information helps for sure. All right. Totally off stride here. Minnesota and Phoenix. Deb will be at this game. We'll be rooting for her. We'll be looking at you. Where are your seats so we can look for you? What bench?
So section 111, I'm opposite side of the benches. So kind of in the corner of the basket, the visiting side.
Okay, visiting side, corner basket. Okay, we're going to be looking for you. We expect you to have a coach talk, something shaking it around.
Yeah.
Roll that around there for sure. Okay, here we go. Last game. 227 total. Phoenix by 4. Not very much, really, for a home. I thought they'd be favored by more than that.
Yep.
115.5 implied for Phoenix, 111.5 for Minnesota. So, sounds like you're going to see a good game according to Vegas. We've got T-Wolves coming in at 4-3, and the Suns 5-1. Monty Williams is such a great coach. I love Monty Williams. Injury-wise, we've got Slow-Mo expected to play for Minnesota. McLaughlin is questionable. Garza and Minot out. For Phoenix, Torrey Craig supposedly going to play. Ayton, you don't get to see your buddy DeAndre Ayton.
I know. No,
Jay Crowder's still home eating chicken wings, and Ian Wainwright is also out. So I don't even know if you want to go to the game if Ian Wainwright.
Yeah, but you know what? I saw him last.
Ish,
right. I saw him last time in street clothes, and he wears some smart-looking street clothes. So
there you go. I'll tell you, the sharpest dressed guy I've ever seen in a game. He was sitting out that game, Whiteside, when he was playing for the Heat. He had red ruby slippers on, like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. Skin tight white pants. Man. It was terrifying.
That's awesome.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh man.
Good job, Draftkings, for praising up the. Yeah, they did anticipate that.
He's right. Yeah, I'm staying off those guys now. I mean, they're too expensive, and they're going to split the minutes. So.
Yeah, we had this dilemma last game. Landell and Biombo. It becomes a very difficult situation. So, all right, let's look at the pace of these teams, Deb. And I won't try to trick you on any quizzes this time. I usually can get crash at that too if it makes you feel any better. Phoenix pace-wise, 13th, middle of the pack. So, nothing to write home about there. Minnesota, on the other hand, is definitely played faster. They are 4th, and you would think that they would have slowed down a little bit with 2 centers basically out there, but they're still moving the ball, so that's pretty good. The other reason why Minnesota is so stinking dangerous and why this should be a good game tonight, they're also 4th in defensive efficiency. Here's the other fear, Deb. Phoenix is 6th. Yeah. So you got a pretty good total here in 226 for the fact, or 227 with the fact that you have 2 of the top 6 teams in the association defensively. So I don't know.
I'm really surprised about Minnesota's defense. It's got to be the Gobert effect, right?
Oh, it's 100% the Gobert effect. He's the defensive player of the year for 3 years in a row or something. Yeah, I mean, it's 100% his effect. I mean, you knew he would do it, but I didn't know they'd be that high right away. So
no, for sure. And Phoenix doesn't really play an inside game that much. So I'm not sure how much that comes into play against Phoenix. So, but that is interesting. That surprised me.
Yeah. Oh, King of Smacks asking you to throw a cup of beer at CP3. We'll have Deb being drug out by the police, and her Coach Doc hat will be falling off.
That's all. Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious. So what are you going to do with this game, Deb? You're going to be there, so you got really an eyeball interest on this one.
Yes. What do you think? Yeah, I like Phoenix in this game. I think it's going to be a pretty nice scoring game, so there'll be some good stats to spread around. I saw earlier someone was interested in Booker as one of their pay up guys, and I don't blame you at all. I think he's going to have a real solid game. But I hate paying for Booker when he's above 9K. He just he's one of those guys that he's not a lock for 50 points every night. And so
he's not going to get probably double-digit assists or rebounds. So
no, exactly.
Generally,
and he's not big on steals, and so I'm not on Booker tonight. But wouldn't blame you. I mean, his ownership is actually high though. For 9K too, he's over 20%. He's the highest of everyone in this game. So I'm not on Booker. I continue to like Cam for the value. So I'm gonna go there again. I also I do like Chris Paul, particularly on Fanduel where he's only 7,400, I think. Actually, in fact, he's the number one. He's the number one owned guy on Fanduel.
Yep.
And
if the price is right.
Yeah. So that's probably who I'm looking at on Phoenix. I always seem to land on Bridges, but his price is creeping up a bit as well. He's now 6,200, and I like to get him below 6K. So I'm probably going to stay away from him. And then on the other side of it, I do like Edwards. I think Edwards is going to be bombing tonight, and really the weakest part of the defense for Phoenix is at the wing. So I like Edwards, and I'll take a look at Gobert. He's up against Biyombo and Landale, so he might be interesting as well. But he's also, he's 8,200, so he's not cheap. He's not cheap.
He's no giveaway. No, you still don't like Cat at all. You have not. You've been off a Cat this year.
I've been off him. I've been totally off him all year, and his price stays high, and he's not getting the rebounds. He's not getting the blocks. He likes to hit that 3-point shot, and I think that's actually. The Phoenix plays small, so that actually will hurt him in this game. I think if he played big, that could help him.
Yeah, he doesn't play like a 7-footer anymore. No,
he doesn't do it. So
no.
So I'm still off him.
Yeah, I'm not on Cat either. It's hard for me to pay up to any of the big guys here. Booker, Cat, Edwards. I just don't like them in this game. I know that these two teams happen to be two of the teams that aren't on a back-to-back, and it is a feature game. It's the only late game. So, it does sit as a game that could get a lot of upside. It's just, I respect the way these two teams are defending. And, Gobert's completely changed the defensive rotation and complexion of things in Minnesota. And we know Phoenix, focuses on defense. And I just I would rather spend up in these other games for the Currys and Durants and those kind of guys as opposed to spending the big bucks here. I'm with you, though, on Chris Paul. I think 7-7 is too cheap. I like him in this game. Edwards and Russell don't scare me defensively. That's where they miss having a Pat Beverly as their third guard to defend guys like Paul. I think this is one of the I think this is one of those 14 assist games for Chris Paul.
That's exactly right. That's
really
you got
do.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be playing that as my prop bet.
Oh, very good. I really think he's in a great spot here. And I keep getting sucked into Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson because they're cheap and they're okay. But I'm always a little nervous. But I do like Cam again. I need you to do me a favor, though. If he's throwing up another dog game, I need you to scream. Like when it's quieter, just say, Cam, get your ass moving. And I want to hear that on the TV.
Say, Coach says.
Coach says I've got to come up with a nickname for him here. He's going to get on that nickname list.
Yeah, that's
pretty
right.
soon
that's
if he doesn't step up. So I do like him as value here, but Chris Paul's my favorite play on the other side. I would personally not touch the Biyombo Landale split. It just makes no sense, especially with Gobert's interior defense, and those two guys are interior players. So I don't see going there. I'm really, really sour right now on Ant. I don't like his antics, no pun intended. He gets on my nerves. He's so talented. He's just really in my doghouse. He's inconsistent. He can have phenomenal games. He's like one of the most physically talented players in the league. He's just such a dimwit at times. And as a coach, that's not a guy I would want to coach. He would make me a nervous wreck. But his price is high. He's inconsistent. I think he's going to get some Mikal Bridges defense, and I think that's enough to shut him down. I'm not adverse, though, to going with D'Angelo Russell, opposite of Chris Paul. I think,
talk about a guy who's inconsistent, though.
He is inconsistent, but, if this game's going to be a close game like they're calling for, I think that he's a reasonable play. And as Chris Paul's losing just a smidgen on defense. Let's face it. I mean, he's 36 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
He's not the just dead stopper defender he used to be. In fact, when you look at DRPM, he's middle of the pack now. So definitely some stepping back there. And Russell, as inconsistent as he is, it's helped his price go down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, at $7K flat, maybe, if I can fit him in there. So, let's see. I'm cuckoo, but I don't think you have a pay up for the top dogs tonight. The highest you should pay up is 8K. That's not a cuckoo idea on a lot of slates. Curry's no 100% lock. If you don't go to KD or Kyrie, then that's pretty much it. You don't have Luka, you don't have Giannis, you don't have the Joker. Those are the three that you can't get away from pretty much.
Exactly.
To at least have one of them. So I don't think that's cuckoo at all. KOS, as they call you in here. I think that is a very reasonable look at it without question. Who's my pay up coach right now? It's KD and Curry are my two favorite pay ups, but I'm still working on that. Let's give just a quick, because I don't like to miss anything here. So if I missed a question, throw it back in here, because I've been focusing on all this news and everything going on. I do want to answer. Somebody threw out a full lineup there, which is always a little tricky on these shows. But Lowry, no for me. Caruso, yes, I love him. SGA, I'm afraid on a back-to-back. T-Ross, no. Butler, I'd love to play Butler. I don't know if I can afford him. McDaniels, not really. Green, no. Bum Adebayo, Deb likes him. I don't think he's a bad play tonight. Bol, no, coming off the bench. So that answers those, Mr. Feudy. I'm looking for any other questions. Want to say we've had a great group in here today. So we've got a two brains are better than one. Then we're going to give this ticket away, and we then will get on the road.
Let's do it.
Deb, I don't remember who gets the first pick today.
Must be ladies first.
All right. We'll have you take the winning pick right here.
All right, here we go. All right. So my first pick, I'm gonna go with DeRozan at we'll go with small forward for now.
Okay. I put him in at shooting guard. So here we go. I already
Okay.
screwed it up. This is one of those scenarios where it's site dependent. I love Vuk on DraftKings. He's $1,000 cheaper than he is on Fanduel. So I wanted to make that point because I'm not going to take Vuk here at 83, but at 73, that's a big difference. Yeah. I think that is a serious difference. I am going to take a weird selection. $5,900 Nicholas Claxton at center.
Nice. Not weird at all. Love it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the bum at power forward, 7,900. I think that's fair.
Okay. We'll call him Bam if he comes through. We'll go back to Bam.
We'll go back to Bam.
He's got a show. What's the number that you got? What do we need from him tonight, you think?
I've got 45.
45. Okay.
That's where yeah.
I would take that. 50 burger would also be nice. I am going to go ahead and take Chris Paul.
Okay.
You're going to be at the game, so
that's
you can give him some business if he doesn't step up.
All right.
I mean, 7,400 is very fair.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going with, I'm playing it back with Zach LaVine at 7,300.
So you're going Chicago Bulls or bust. Okay. Well, that takes away my Caruso play because I don't want 3 of them. But I do like Caruso for the record, but I'm not going to go 3. I don't want to go 3 Bulls.
What is Caruso on FanDuel?
I don't like three stacks.
Yeah, he's a little more expensive on FanDuel also.
He is. He's not as good of a deal, so we don't need to go there. Plus, if a Dosunmu and White are playing, it's a shaky play.
Switch it up.
Yeah. Let's take a look here. Do I go to Curry or Durant? That'll put us in a pinch. I better not.
Yeah, let's do it. No?
I don't know. We're gonna be so we'll be down to Garbaji. So let me see. Let me just take a look. I'm so used to Crash taking like $4,200 guys, and I can just buy away. Like
I know.
He's such a bargain.
You want your guy Banchero?
He's expensive.
He is. I know.
I mean, I do like him a lot, but I'm gonna go to Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
At small forwards or power forward, 7,300. I want to just fill that power forward spot. I don't want to spend the extra 1,200 as much as I like Paolo. That's a lot. Yeah, because that still gives us 5,300 a spot for 3 spots. That's not like rich.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
but that's something.
Enough to get it done, right?
Yeah. So the question is, so if you're not going Curry, we really need to go Jordan Poole.
How much is he?
Is that going to leave us with enough money though?
How much is he?
He's 7,200. Too rich?
Yeah, I don't think we can go over mid 6s. I'll give you a cheap guy.
So what do you think of Suggs?
Is he playing with no restrictions? Does anybody know that? I know he's in. If he's playing with no restrictions.
Yeah, no restrictions. There's 28 minutes.
I think he's a fine play as long as he gets the minutes. How much is he?
He's only 5K.
All right, let's give it a try. I mean, that's how you win a GPP is you get a guy like Suggs who we know has a 45-point upside at 5K.
Exactly.
He could go 8x without any trouble. I just hope he gets the full minutes.
Yeah.
I've got another real big money saver here, and again, this is GPP. Probably not going to play him in cash or single entry, but I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Martin for $4,500.
Okay.
And he can play either spot we have left, Deb. He can play
Nice.
shooting guard or small forward. So that gives you 6,500 for one of those two
Wow.
spots.
Okay.
So
we've either
I'm
got
playing the role of Crash today.
nice. I appreciate that. So we've either got Franz Wagner or let's see who we got at shooting guard or Franz Wagner. Yeah, I mean we're either looking at Wagner, Dort, or Bridges, or Klay Thompson.
Oh God.
I know.
It's up to you. And if you don't use all the money, I'll sub out Caleb for somebody else, maybe. It's up to you.
I like Dort tonight. So
All right.
I'm gonna go Dort. And then
And is he small forward?
he is, we can do it. Yeah, he's small forward.
Oh, he can play shooting guard too.
There you go.
All right, so that leaves me 4,700 for a small
you can take your guy Strus.
Yeah, the two Miami Heat guys. Stinking Darius Baisley. I make fun of his ownership all the time. Let me see what he's.
Yeah, somebody asked about him in the chat.
26 minutes, 22, 19 the last 3 games, 26, 29, and 23 fantasy points. Caleb Martin has been 25, 29, 29 minutes, 22, only 12, but he had a 40.
Yeah, that's.
God, I don't like T. Ross at all.
No, I agree.
Let me take a look at shooting guard real quick. I'm high on Strus. I'm sticking with my man. I'm taking Max Strus.
Go Martin.
I mean,
Strus. Okay, Strus. Yeah.
He gets to value for me. Last man in. So that gives us 2 brains are better than one. We used every nickel. We've got Chris Paul and Jalen Suggs at point, Zach LaVine and Luguentz Dort at shooting guard, DeMar DeRozan and Max Strus at small, Bam Adebayo and Andrew Wiggins at power, and Nicholas Claxton at center. So we did what you would call, whoever was talking about that, we have a medium build. Our lowest priced guy is Max Strus at 4,700. Our highest priced guy is DeMar DeRozan at only 8,200.
Yeah, look at that.
So we built a lineup with no Curry, no Durant, none of our pay-up guys, but we really don't have any bumps. We have guys that can throw a 50 burger on the board, like a Paul, Suggs, LaVine, DeRozan, Adebayo, all the Wiggins is capable if it's a shootout. So there you go. There's
contrarian.
It is contrarian. No one's going to be duping that. I hope we do, and I hope we all hit it and win it. All right, last chance. Thumbs up to qualify. Not really, but I'm saying it anyway. Thumbs up, and you have to comment in here to say, hey, if you haven't already. Let's see. Desunmo will play for Chicago, and White is a game time decision. Okay, so that eliminates Caruso for me, and that does not bother me one bit about DeRozan, and does not bother me one bit about LaVine, because they'll be fine. Desunmo's not offensive minded. So, all right, here we go. The button's going to be pushed. The winner of a ticket, you need to go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk and send me your PayPal email, and we'll send that right out to you immediately. All right, the winner is Absolute Power. Has absolutely won the ticket today. Congratulations, Absolute Power. I'll keep an eye out for that. The sweet part about it is it's 6:07 here on the East Coast. We have an hour and 23 minutes until lock, so we have plenty of time to maneuver these lineups, get them ready for you. We will be posting this information in Discord if there's any changes. We'll also put it on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk if we have to change anything on the Two Brains lineup. If everything stays the same, about 20 minutes, more like 20 minutes before lock, we will post, Deb and I, our cores on Draftkings and our full lineups on Fanduel and Yahoo. So thank you so much, everybody. let's get after it. Takedown Tuesday here at Coach Talk. Great job, Deb. And I'll be back tomorrow, certainly with Crash, and we'll break down a very busy Wednesday slate. It's going to be packed. So any final words, Deb?
No, let's do it today. Takedown Tuesday. I'm ready.
All right. Great one. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll catch you again tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Deb, do you have a Boom fantasy pick?
I do, actually.
All right, let's throw that in. I always forget
here.
Until I'm about to say Boom Fantasy.
I've got Nick Claxton at over 23.5 par.
All right.
I like it. And Bam Adebayo at over 30.5 par. It's Bam night. We turn this bum into Bam.
Oh man. I want to post the Bam Bam thing where he's tossing the guys around in Discord. All right, you're going to think I'm crazy here. I'm going Steph Curry over 27.5 real points. I'm thinking I think 7 threes tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
It's a big number. It's a big number.
It is a big number.
I just think he's scoring tonight. I think this is a great game for him. My second play is going to be, let me see if it changed. I want to make sure it's good. Yep. It's Kyle Lowry under 11.5 real points.
Okay.
I just don't like the way he's playing, and I like the fact that I think he's held down in this matchup. So, all right, thank you, everybody.
Right, cool.
Really do appreciate it for everybody jumping in. Great group today too. Fantastic.
It's awesome.
All right, now I can say it. We will definitely be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS and Boom Fantasy.